by popular demand, we've got a lot of requests from our partners on the platform to make sure that everybody knows really how the best way to utilize Art of Homeownership in their business today is in kind of a multitude of facets. So what I want to go over today is more or less how to really understand the platform so you can communicate it well with all parties. And not only when to communicate it, but how to communicate it, what to say, when to say it. And what we've realized, I think, especially after we got back from the conference in Vegas and talking to more people, there's a lot of people who are very interested in becoming Art of Homeownership partners, is that people are very much the same, right? Most mortgage lenders and most realtors are saying the same things, and they're just now finding out about it, right? I think that for so long, we've tricked ourselves into thinking, oh, we're different, and here's why. But if everyone else thinks they're different and their why is the same as yours, well, unfortunately, you're not different. So my goal today is to ensure that if you're an Art of Homeownership partner, regardless if you're a realtor or a lender, that you fully understand your superpower, right? That you really believe the difference between just being an average lender or realtor and a outstanding real estate or mortgage professional with an Art of Homeownership designation. So I'll share my screen and we'll jump into it. Please, by all means, ask questions, raise your hands, stop me if I'm saying something you don't understand. Val's going to be here with us today to kind of give her feedback and help kind of facilitate us as we go here as well. So let's get rolling. Val, anything you want to share before we start?
No, not yet.
Cool. All right. So again, topic is communicating your value proposition as an Art of Homeownership partner. Some of you may have, this down, so it may be a little repetitive if you're on the call today and you feel like, I already do this well. That's great, but I think we can always be better at it, and we can always figure out how to improve on it. Obviously, my team, my personal production team, you would think that they're the best in the country at being able to communicate our value proposition and be different, but even they struggle with it, which I was finding out on our team call yesterday. And so if my team can struggle with it, then every single person can get better at it. So that's what we want to help you all with today. So first thing I want to go over is the commitments. It's important that you understand all the things that you now do for your clients, right? And so introducing those tools and when to do that is going to be really important. We'll get into the when here in a second, but these are really, if you go to your Art of Homeownership page, these are all the 8 tools, and relocation services encompasses 3. So I'm not going to dive super deep into each one because my hope is that you know what they do, but you should be able to think through any conversation and think, I have a solution for that, or I can fix that problem. One of the things that I do a lot is I talk about the Trulia study about homeowners having regrets after buying a home. And so if I'm talking to a client, I'm going to say, hey, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but 63% of all millennials and 42% of every single homeowner has some form of regret within 1 to 2 years after buying a home. And one of those, the most common regret is that people underestimated home maintenance, home repairs, upkeep, not only cost, but time, energy, and know-how. And so I want you to know that our clients are not a part of those statistics. And here's why, right? Because we're going to give you a home concierge, and this is what it's going to do. And we're going to help you with annual financial reviews, and we're going to help you with relocation services and upgrades. And so you want to make sure to address the problems that they don't know they're going to have. And as someone's talking to you about, well, yeah, I'm not sure about what I'll do. I may want to buy this home, but I may want to move up to a larger home. Okay, well, great. As an Art of Homeownership partner, on a monthly basis, we're going to engage with you and give you content and specific information about your real estate wealth and how to use it, and how to leverage it, and when to move up and how to do that. So you're not going to have to go through this alone. As an Art of Homeownership partner, we're going to help you do that. So the key is just to really understand, as you're having conversations, which you're likely having quite a few every day, how you get to weave each one of these in, how you get to talk about maximizing wealth through real estate, how you can rest their mind at ease, letting them know that you're always going to be managing their mortgage for them, right? Letting them know that you're going to be proactive, and every single year, at least once a year, you're going to be helping them plan for the future, right? They should never sell a home without maximizing that home's value. And if they ever do want to move up, we can help them buy that new home all cash potentially. Right, so just have a have a really good understanding of all the tools in your belt. Right? Imagine you're building a house, and you only have nails. You're like, okay, well, I got all these great nails, but you need the hammer to know how to actually get that work done. If you're an Art of Homeownership partner and you have all this, you have the nails, but you don't have the hammer, it's useless. So understand all these things. And if you don't, please ask questions, right? Like we can, on the e-learning platform, there is more information than you likely will know what to do with. Right. So go in here and type in literally any one of these things, and that's what the essentials is. So the essentials really gets you familiar with each one of those different 8 subjects. So dive into it, understand it, and you'll get a much better feel for it. Lori's question: when is you getting an AOH t-shirt? They are coming soon, Lori. I'll let Val and the team answer that question. Val?
I will, Lori, I'll reach out to you after this webinar, but we are working on it, so they will be available for everyone soon.
Yes. All right. So those are the 8 commitments. Again, know what they are, know what they do, and know when to bring them into the conversation. Next is you don't just get to sign up and then have a superpower, right? It just doesn't work that way. There's a lot of things in the mortgage industry that cater to laziness, and probably more in the real estate industry, where they say just sign up here and it's an in the box solution that is going to do X, Y, and Z, and you set it and forget it, and all the cliche crap that you hear about, like, buy this and you don't have to do anything and you'll be so much better. Just think through that for a second. When in life do you get to press the easy button and then be way different than everybody else, right? What creates differentiation is effort, right? It's education. It's real, actual differentiation through putting in the work. And so, we really try and do a good job when we vet out Art of Homeownership partners to make sure that they don't just want to, click button, be better, because that doesn't exist in our space, right? I think the closest thing to that would be HomeBot, but obviously it's a part of our platform. But HomeBot by itself does not differentiate you. It doesn't even get you close. It just helps you add a little bit more value to the clients that you already serve, right? But as a part of a bigger offering, right, as a part of a larger commitment, that's what's going to differentiate you. But you have to invest the time into it. You have to learn how to implement it. You have to be in the e-learning platform and understand the scripting and really build it into your process. So I'd love to hear from anybody here on the platform who is not supremely confident and why, and who is supremely confident in being able to talk through it, and how did you get to that point? If anybody feels comfortable sharing, feel free to raise your hand or type in the chat or Q&A, and we can unmute you and bring you into the conversation here. So as we're going through, just if you feel like you have a good mastery of how to bring this through, then cool. Lisa, raise your hand. Let's unmute Lisa here.
Okay, I unmuted myself. Did I unmute myself?
We got you. Yeah.
Awesome. So I love what you said, Ryan, about the fact that, who in life have ever had someone tell them, oh, just sign up and we'll take care of it for you without any effort. So I am completely guilty of the lack of effort. So I'm one of the things that I'm owning is involving this and really training myself on this. So I don't feel super confident in regards to how it all kind of fits together. It doesn't flow naturally to just kind of dump those little nuggets in a regular conversation. So I would be interested in hearing some people that are feeling comfortable with it. What was best practices, or what was their process of attacking this to get the basic knowledge as quickly as possible and then enhance that so that then it becomes just part of what I say without me even thinking about it anymore?
So I could probably say it, but people are likely tired of hearing from me. Lori, you are an implementing genius. I think the group would love to hear from you. Oh, she beat me to it. I can answer. Cool. Let's get Lori on.
Awesome. I'm taking notes.
Nice.
Am I live?
You are. Thank you, Lori.
Okay. Way to throw me under the bus, Ryan. Thank you very much. Well, I'll tell you, for me, I have to like dissect it, take it apart, and put it in my own terms. But once I did that, I literally sat down, and I'm happy to send you guys, I created a wheel for my clients. And I had to figure out, because we offer so many different things, right? Art of Homeownership for us, we've been doing all these things for 20 years, but Art of Homeownership for me just kind of put a pin in and helped me to brand or name all the things that we did. But because there were a couple of other things that we offered, I had to sit down and go, okay, what are all the things that are available through Art of Homeownership? And what's kind of like the umbrella under which, each one of those fall? And I created a wheel, and in the center of the wheel, you can just imagine we have our little house logo, and it says your goals. So I tell my clients, everything that we do for you for the rest of my entire career is going to be built around your goals. Our priorities are simple. They're yours. There's nothing that we're going to come to you with that doesn't have your best interest and your goals right at the center of it. So then I built around the wheels are the spokes of the wheel, maybe is a better way to say it, are the Art of Homeownership pieces, right? And then I found, like I said, the other couple of things that we put into it. Once I did that, I literally had to sit down and I drew it on my iPad and said, okay, the first thing that we're going to offer to our clients is, market updates and tools to help them. Well, underneath tools happens to fall the renovation technology and the trade up program and, HomeBot and some of those things. The second thing is the perfect mortgage promise, right? We're going to help understand what you're doing and then make that perfect mortgage promise. The third thing is the home concierge service. The fourth thing is annual financial reviews. And the fifth thing is maximizing wealth through real estate. So once I did that, I was really confident then of saying, here's how the process is going to work. And it's all built around your goals. But sitting down and drawing it out, saying, here's all the stuff we do and where they fit on my wheel was incredibly helpful. Then it was like the light bulb went on and I was like, yes, I'm there. Is that helpful?
Yeah, I love that. And yeah, Lori, if you could share that wheel with the AOH team, we'd love to be able to share that with other people. Shane, are you RWM Home Loans?
Yes.
Awesome. You had mentioned that you have a good feel for how you're talking to clients about it, but need to get better with realtor partners, correct?
Yes. So, I have definitely implemented this into my initial consultation when I talk with clients, using a lot of the slides from the help center as far as, talking about the benefits that we're going to provide them after close. And I take them to the website and I show them the home concierge and HomeBot and all of that. And then I've been doing my closing call with clients and communicating to them again that they're going to be set up on this and the benefits that they're going to receive from it. And then normally when I do like my 3-month follow-up call as well, I've got, if I'm leaving a message or whatever it is, I'm just reminding them again of the platform and if they have any questions. And I've got my assistant who makes a call usually like 2 weeks after closing just to confirm that they've been receiving the intro emails on that. So all of that's been going good. I think probably where I could do a little bit better is with making sure that clients are actually utilizing the tools and understanding the benefits as we go further along. So I'm trying to continue, like when we do the annual review, trying to get them to, I'm bringing up HomeBot to them at that time and using the value that's coming up to show them how we're basing the information off of. So that's been going good. I'm trying to roll this out more to like my financial planners and real estate agents and trying to get them to see the benefits of it. And I think that's where it's been a little bit more difficult.
Got it. Well, guys, I'll make a commitment. If you have a real estate partner who is willing to jump on and learn about Art of Homeownership with you, or financial planner, I'd be happy to go through that with you and them, as long as they're okay recording it, so we can kind of put it on the e-learning platform and help other people with it. So obviously can't do it for everybody, but for the first 3 people that set up those meetings, I'm happy to jump on and I can do the realtor meeting right along with you, and just as an Art of Homeownership, member of Art of Homeownership, to help you get them to understand the value to them, their clients, and their business as well. So happy to help with that. So Shane and Lori, thank you for sharing. I think that, to kind of go back to Lisa's point here is, I know how busy Lisa's been. I know how much she has on her plate. I know she's got a ton going on. And so, not dissimilar to anybody else here on this phone call. But the key is just to make a commitment to yourself that you're going to start this, like you're going to do this. You're going to, on the first phone call, and we'll kind of transition. I think this is a good transition to the next one, is how do you start talking to people about this, right? How do you bring it up? When do you bring it up? And what do you say, right? And so we're going to go, that'll be kind of the last slide that we get through here. But I think that the interesting part is, how do you open that? And so we kind of broke it down into existing relationships and new relationships. So with existing relationships, you have your current clients, friends, family, and then you need to figure out how to introduce it and when. So for any current client, right, that basically someone in my database, right, or current or past client, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to say, hey, look, I'm not sure if you're aware, but we've invested in a new platform called the Art of Homeownership that really helps people not just own a home, but be a successful homeowner. And first, I just want to apologize that we didn't do this for you before, because I've seen a massive difference in our clients since we've rolled this out, and I want to make sure you're using it at the highest level. Then it's been really helpful in getting our clients to a place where they feel like they're being proactive as a homeowner as opposed to reactive. And so you can do that same thing with your friends or family. I literally talked to my neighbor when we first started this thing, and I said, hey, I'm really excited about the fact that we're changing the real estate and mortgage business. And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, well, most lenders and most realtors just sell you a mortgage and sell you a house, and then they kind of, wish you good luck, and then they'll send you stuff in the mail to market to you, but they really don't have any interest in helping you. We want to change that. We want to be proactive in the way that we help our clients, and we want to commit to helping our clients become more wealthy long-term and plan for future real estate goals and actually manage their mortgage for them. And he's like, wow, that's an interesting concept. I've never heard of anybody doing that before. And so I said, look, I'd love to show you it. I'd love to sign you up so you can be an actual member on the platform. I'd love to get your feedback. And he goes, well, yeah, what does it cost? And I said, oh, it actually doesn't cost anything. We invest in you as our future client or potential client at some point. Now, you don't ever have to do a loan or buy a house or sell a house with us, but we know that the more that we invest in our current and future clients, the more successful they'll become. And then when or if it makes sense for them to buy, sell, or finance a home, then we'll have the opportunity to help them at that time, and we'll educate them along the way to get to that point. And he's like, wow, it's an interesting concept. He goes, yeah, I'd love to sign up, love to experience it. So you literally can just have that conversation over and over and over again, right? With your current or past clients, with friends, with family members, with anybody you know. And it just starts with, we're changing the real estate and mortgage business. And nobody's going to stop and say, okay, well, I don't really care what that means, and just move on, right? People are going to ask you, what does that mean? Like, you're disrupting an industry that's been around for 100+ years. How are you doing that? Right? I thought you were just a lender. I thought you were just a loan officer. Right? I thought you were just a real estate agent. Oh, I'm glad it was what you thought, but this is what we actually are, and this is what we're doing. Anybody have any questions or comments on that? Or has anybody tried that or want to share?
It looks like, Ryan, I don't know if you saw, but Lori just said that she didn't get a response from the email invites until she called personally. So I think having that personal touch probably is very effective too, just because it might seem like a mass email that you're sending out. And also through social media, I think is a big one. Just telling your personal network about what you're doing, even if it is you shooting a quick video. We have scripts to communicate the Art of Homeownership value. So just pushing that to anyone in your network and setting the expectation that it is free to them and it's just you investing in their success says a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's incredibly important for any existing people that that are in your database or, again, your sphere. You can put it out there. That's what you do. You can put it out there through email. You can, but they need to hear it first. So doing video, right? Doing a video that you put on your social media is huge. You know, that's your way of telling as many people as possible what you're doing. And then I would boost that post and actually put some dollars behind it and just say, hey, look, I'm really excited to be changing the real estate and mortgage business. This is how I'm doing it. You know, if you're not getting this type of value from your realtor or lender, we'd be happy to adopt you as a client. Again, this doesn't cost anything. Reach out. We'd love to help. Like, putting that content out there is so incredible. And if you're not doing it, well, how do you expect people to know that you're any different? You know, you can't have this, you know, you can't be Clark Kent that never gets into the phone booth, right? You need to actually put your cape on and show people who you are and what you do at some point. So for any new relationships, right, people that have not revealed themselves as a potential buyer or seller or financer of a property, you know, you basically, you know, you can do this through a lot of ways. Most of them will be at open houses, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But people that are coming through, oh yeah, I'm just looking, not planning on doing anything. Okay, great. Well, do you currently own a home? Oh yeah, I own a home down the street. Awesome. Well, I just want to make sure, are you an Art of Homeownership member? Like, has somebody offered that to you? Do you know what that is? No, what's that? Oh, I'm really sorry. You know, our goal is that every homeowner here in our market, in our community, actually becomes more of a successful homeowner. And so we've developed a platform that allows us to invest in the livelihood of our clients when it comes to real estate and finance. And you know, if you don't have it, I think you're definitely missing out. And I want to make sure and it doesn't cost you anything. I'm not selling anything here, but you know, there's 8 different valuable platforms that you can have access to that I think you would absolutely love. I'd love to show it to you. And then just, you know, pull up your phone, you know, pull up your computer, send them a link, do whatever you need to do, and you can just adopt people. And you can communicate that anywhere and everywhere. Now, obviously, the most opportune places to do it are going to be in or around real estate, right? So open houses, agents that may be sending out farm pieces or mailers to their farm. If you have agents that are door knocking, if you, you know, are blanketing somewhere with social media target marketing, all that stuff works. You just need to create FOMO, right? You need to create fear. If I'm a homeowner and I know that this exists and I don't have it, well, then I'm like, why not? I mean, why does my neighbor have this? Or why did I hear it from somebody else that they're getting all these services and I'm getting nothing? I get a pie on Thanksgiving, right? So let's make sure that we're communicating to the people we already know and the people we don't about what they should have and how important it is going to be to them. Yeah, even and Lori said here, you know, telling them it sounds too good to be true, and here's why it's not. I actually got that when I was up on the Facebook campus, right? So we were up there, and people walked by like, "Oh, what's this? You know, what's Art of Homeownership?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, my name's Ryan. I work with the Insight team here at Neo Home Loans, and we partner with a company called the Art of Homeownership to help people become really successful homeowners. And this is all the things we offer." They go, "Oh, cool. How much does it cost?" I said, "Oh, there's actually no cost to you. We invest in it for you." And then they look at me sideways and they go, "Well, no offense, but like, how do you make money? Like, this seems like too good to be true. Why would you offer all these things and I don't have to pay for them?" Right? And at the time, I was a little taken aback. I was like, "It's a good question." But now I've realized that, through scripting and practice, the best way to answer that question is kind of what I said earlier is, look, most mortgage companies and most real estate companies spend all their time and money and energy marketing to people who may want to buy, sell, or finance a home. And because they spend all their money marketing to find new people, they don't really do much in terms of investing in the actual people that they get or the clients that they serve. We've realized that if we just invest in you and make you more successful, that we'll have the opportunity to help you when it's time to buy, sell, or finance a home. So we're just redirecting our marketing dollars, right? We're not marketing to the masses only to try and find people who want to buy and sell properties and then just getting that transaction done and then moving on. We're taking those same marketing dollars and we're investing it into the clients and making them more successful, knowing that not only will they always work with us, but then they're going to tell their friends and their family and their coworkers that everyone should work with an Art of Homeownership professional, because the client ends up getting more, right? The investment that the company makes is in the client, not in future marketing dollars. And then you can see people's light go on and they go, wow, that's brilliant. Okay. And, to be honest, we felt pretty good, people at Facebook telling us we're brilliant. So it was a cool time, and we signed up 187 people in 4 hours. So you can use this really well as long as you feel confident in knowing what you're offering and knowing how important it is to the end user. Mike's asking, is there an app to share via phone? What's the easiest way? So you can definitely use Art of Homeownership on your phone. You can just send them your link, right? So I literally can just pull up my thing here and be like, here, look at it, right? They can scroll through it. You guys can pull up the app, or the website is mobile capable. And then you can just text them your link. Better yet, you can even just pull up your phone and put their information in and sign them up right on your phone. We are in the process of working on an app right now that is going to be more holistic and more able to track. And so our goal is to have that out here shortly. But right now, the best thing to do is just show them the platform on the phone. So again, I want to kind of go back to Lisa, because I think she's just like everybody else on the platform, which is very busy, has a lot on her plate and trying to figure out how to make this happen. And the key is just to commit to yourself. Look, I'm not going to have another initial phone call without talking about this. Right? Like the next time I talk to a client, I'm going to bring up Art of Homeownership and our long-term value. Now, it may not be great the first time, right? I may stumble, I may forget things, it may be choppy, it may not feel normal. But change is what makes everybody better, right? The mortgage industry is changing every day. The question is, are you? Right? Are you changing for the better, or are you changing for the worse? So make the commitment that next time you have a dreams and goals call or an initial conversation with somebody, you're going to ask the question, Val, I'm so excited to talk to you about this, and we'd love to help you understand if buying a home or refinancing a home makes sense. Before we jump into it, are you familiar with what makes us unique as a mortgage lender?
No, I'm not.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad I asked. A lot of times people will be referred to us and they'll kind of already know what our superpower is. But if you don't, I think it's important that you understand that most clients choose to work with us. And the reason we're one of the #1 lenders in the county and amongst the top in the country is because we actually provide you long-term value. Like our commitment to you goes well beyond just the mortgage. And so I'll get into that more when we have our consultation. But our process here is to get as much information about you as we possibly can today. I want to learn all about what you want to do now and in the future. I want to help you better understand kind of our process, right? So after this just dreams and goals call, we're going to have a consultation. And in that consultation, we're going to go through all your different options and talk about everything. And we're really going to get into our long-term value. And there's 8 different areas in which we're going to help you not just own a home, but be a really successful homeowner. And you may be thinking, okay, well, I don't want to pay more for my mortgage if I'm getting more. Don't worry, you're not going to, right? We are just as competitive as any other mortgage lender out there. We just use our marketing dollars differently, and we invest it in our clients. And so we'll actually show you how over time you will be a more successful homeowner. You'll have more generational wealth. You'll save more money because of our consistent engagement and our partnership moving forward. So I'm excited to talk to you about all that. Any questions I can answer for you around that?
What would you say is the benefit to you, and why do you do this, and why don't any other mortgage professionals do the same thing?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think that the mortgage industry unfortunately believes that their job is to just take an order and then get that order fulfilled, right? So you're going to call me and say, Ryan, I want to buy an X number of dollar home. I'm thinking about putting 20% down. What's your rate? What's your cost? And unfortunately, the mortgage industry believes our job is to just pre-approve your loan, try and sell you debt, and then when that transaction closes, wish you good luck, right? Because we believe we've done our job at that point. We've realized that 99% of America doesn't have the education, the systems, or the information that they need to have. And the biggest difference between you being a successful homeowner and just owning a home is not the next 30 days we're going to help you. It's the next 30 years. And so we'll show you in the consultation all the things that we're going to do, and then you'll understand why we do them. Because we could go spend our money on Super Bowl commercials and billboards, but we'd much rather spend that money on you and making you more successful as a homeowner over time. And again, then you're going to tell all your friends and family and coworkers that there's a better way of working with a mortgage professional. And that's how we've become the #1 lender in the market, right? We are extremely good at helping you before the transaction. During the transaction, we're really, kind of second to none when it comes to service and expectation. But then we do post-closing for the next 30 years and help you and your family in ways that no other mortgage company has even tried to do, which is, we're definitely changing the industry, but that's attracting so many people to our platform.
Awesome.
So that's kind of the intro conversation that you want to have. Again, you don't need to dive into it, right? That intro call would be an hour long if you dove into all of our value propositions and all the little things that we do. This just helps you get the application, right? It helps people be more intrigued. It'll help you set the consultation at a higher level, right? People won't just give you the information and then not call you back. And then during that consultation, that's when you're going to really dive into more of it there.
I think that's, Ryan, that's a really good point, because that's a question that we get a lot, is when to introduce the value of Art of Homeownership and how to do that. So I think in that initial call, you're kind of giving them a sneak peek of the value, but then setting the expectation that you're going to dive in and tell them more about it in the second meeting.
Yep. Yeah. And Lori just mentioned something in the comments here, guys. Set yourself a goal, right? So this week, between today and Friday, you're likely going to talk to 5 people, right? At least. So make a goal that you're going to talk to 5 people about your superpower, right? About your Art of Homeownership platform, what it is you do, how you do it, and get them signed up, right? If it's a real estate professional, get a meeting with them to show them more about it. If it's a CPA or financial planner, same thing, get a meeting. If it's a past client, get them to be aware of it and start engaging on it. If it's a prospect, have that conversation that Val and I just had on the end, that initial phone call, so they know that you're going to go over it more in depth in the consultation. Just make sure it becomes a part of your day in and day out. I'll tell you, and I think I probably said this on a previous webinar, but we've brought on more new real estate partners in the last 6 months than we have in the last 3 years combined. This is my personal production team, because this is all I talk about. And they don't hear it from anybody else. All they hear from everybody else is rate, speed, service, certainty, relationship. So they're tired of hearing that from everybody else, right? There's zero difference. And clients are the same exact way, right? All they hear is, and if any of you guys watched my presentation I did in Vegas, I did that research. And the only thing people see online is rate and cost. So you have to be excited about the fact that you're different, right? The reason you signed up for this is to be different. So go out and make sure to tell people you are and how. So moving on here, communicating your value to realtors, this is incredibly important. And like I said, if you get a meeting, the first 3 people who invite me, I'll be there. And I'll help you as your Art of Homeownership partner and talk to them about who you are now and what you do. And I'd be shocked if we didn't get their commitment for a second meeting. And then you just use the business partnership planning meeting after that and move forward. So one of the things is open houses. Now I know, unfortunately for most of Art of Homeownership's young life, open houses have not been a thing, right? Open houses died in March of last year. And they're just now starting to come back. I'm seeing a ton of them, and we're seeing a lot of people go through them. And so being where prospective homeowners and home sellers are is important. That's how I built my entire career. I would go to 7 or 8 open houses a weekend. I would sit 1 or 2 open houses for an hour. I would talk to clients. I would talk to real estate agents. And at that time, I was no different than anybody else. I was just around, right? And so being able to be at open houses or being able to empower your team to go to open houses is even more important as you start to scale up. And so understanding how to talk to people at those open houses and then being able to adopt them or bring them in. So for those of you who need some help with it, we actually did a whole class on it. So if you just go in here and you hit coaching, sorry, sign back in. So go in the ELP and just put in coaching. Assuming the internet works. And then go to hosting a realtor lunch and learn workshop series. So I did a whole video on the whole coaching workshop series that we do. Stop, there you go. So all 6 of the different coaching workshops that we do are in here, right? So you can go in here and there's 3 of 6, right? If you click on workshop series number 2, this will pop up, which is our coaching workshop series on how to be more successful and add value before, during, and after your open house. So I just did this for a real estate group the other day. It was super impactful, and they want us to be a part of all their listings and all their open houses because they see the benefit in it. So again, I did a whole presentation on this. If you guys have questions, let us know, but I'm not going to go through it super in depth right now if we don't have time. But understanding how to market a property, like first of all, why you're really doing the open house, how to market the property before the open house, how to leverage it during the open house. And we have the Art of Homeownership banners if you guys want to buy them. We have the 6-foot tall banners that say, do you just own a home, or are you mastering the art of homeownership? So when people walk into the open house, they see that big banner, they go, what's that about? It's just an immediate conversation starter and an instant way for you to start saying, oh, you don't have this on your home, or do you own a home, or do you not? Same kind of concept as us being at Facebook. People walk up, they say, what's this about? You get to talk to them, and then you immediately get to sign them up for it. So if you're talking to a real estate agent and you ask them, hey, of all the people who come to your open house, how many people do you actually engage with afterwards? Like, they're going to say very few, right? Because not a whole lot of people are signing up. And even if they are signing up or writing in their name or their email or their phone number, who knows if they're giving you the right email? And then good luck actually engaging with them afterwards, right? Like having a conversation, because if they don't like the house, there's nothing for them to talk to you about. You didn't offer them anything. You didn't show them how you're different. You didn't, show them how you can impact their life in a positive way. They just came, they either liked or didn't like the home, they left. So being able to show your realtors how you can get people to adopt and engage is incredibly important. We even have the little 2-foot ones that sit on the kitchen counter or sit on the the dining room table, depending upon size of the house and all that stuff. So having your flyers at the open houses, having your Art of Homeownership flyers at the open houses, being able to talk to agents about a 10-year sales funnel with Art of Homeownership, right? Explaining your value proposition. So we even have a whole disruptor statements and questions. So realtor buyer, one of these is, are you part of the Art of Homeownership platform? I'm not sure. What's the Art of Homeownership? And then you kind of get into that. So this is super helpful. I would give this to your agents. I would actually teach this to all of your agents, and you can use this as your own kind of class that you get to do. You could do online classes, you could do in-person classes, you can do them for teams. But it's really going to be helpful for you and them to understand how to use Art of Homeownership at open houses. And I think it's a great way to kind of segue into social media. So as you see agents in your market that you want to work with, and they're putting out their new listings, hey, I'm going to have an open house Saturday at 4, or whatever the case may be, just send them a Facebook message, right, with a link that says, hey, we've been doing this really successfully with a lot of our agent partners, and it's been helping to increase conversion and adoption rate at open houses. I'd love to chat with you about it. I think your listing is going to get a ton of traffic, and I think you'd be missing out if you didn't do this. I'm not selling anything here. There's no cost to this, but I think it would be super beneficial for you and your business. Love to chat with you about it. So understanding how to use it, how to find your targets on social media through, listing posts, email, phone call is great, but Facebook messages make people feel like they just have to open them and reply, kind of similar to a text, but even texts are starting to fall off a bit. So getting people's attention, getting the initial meeting, talking to them about it, and working through that process is going to be helpful. Val, would you add anything to that?
Yeah, I would say if you identify some realtor partners that you want to work with, I think it's important to, because I get this all the time on, say, LinkedIn. Someone will add you or connect with you and then send you a message and want to offer you something right away. And it just comes across as being salesy. So, you guys none of you are being salesy or wanting to sell them, you want to add value to them. So interacting and engaging with them on social media first, and just kind of creating that baseline relationship, if you call it, on social media, then you can start to reach out to them if they post something that you find interesting, or you're posting things that will add value to them. That's going to create a much stronger connection, and then you can reach out to them with some sort of value. So it just comes across as much less as a sale than it does just creating value.
Yeah, that's a great point. So Chance question, what link would you send them through, I think, let me read that one again. Through Facebook message. So I don't know if I'd actually send them a link. I would just write them a message. You could include your link to your own site, right? So include a link to your Art of Homeownership site. You could send them the coaching workshop series outline, right? You could just send them this. You could do a quick little video to them, just explaining it, right? I think that would be a really powerful way of doing it, right? So just in Facebook Messenger, you can just click video and just say, hey Val, this is Ryan. I saw you're having an open house at 123 Main Street. We've had incredible success as a lending partner to a lot of our real estate agents by bringing our Art of Homeownership platform and our process to our open houses. And we've seen people that would have never signed up and put in their information actually sign up to get this content because it's something that we can actually offer to prospective homeowners and current homeowners. So I think you'll probably have a ton of people come through your open house based upon what I can see. And I'd love to help you understand how you can aggregate a lot of those leads and how to convert a lot of them and just add way more value to people that are walking through that may or may not be interested in buying that house. Love to connect. Let me know when a good time is and we'll go over it. Something as simple as that. I think sending someone anything otherwise that they have to read, that they have to, they go to your website, if it takes longer than 2 seconds for them to understand it, people just aren't going to do that kind of stuff. They're going, oh, I don't know what this is. This is some marketing scheme. But being able to put a video out there, I think is super impactful. Would you agree, Val?
Yeah, for sure. Because if they see your face, it's the human connection that you start. I've also seen voice memos that people send in Messenger too, which is, they've even done it like mass voice memos on LinkedIn, which I don't suggest ever doing mass messages like that, but it definitely got my attention a lot more and made me listen to it when I probably would have just ignored an in-mail request otherwise. So yeah, video or voice message for sure.
Yeah, and Robert's asking, if the realtor isn't on the platform, how do they see the value of you capturing open house clients? So Robert, a realtor doesn't have to be on the platform for them to get the benefit of signing people up, right? So I literally, if I'm signing people up at the open house, let's say you're the realtor and Val is the client who I'm signing up at the open house, I'm going to put in, okay, so Val, I'm going to put in her phone number, email address, and she currently owns a home down the street. And she heard about us. She was a referral from Robert, the realtor. So now when I click get in contact, Val's going to get signed up for Art of Homeownership. She's going to go welcome to Art of Homeownership. It's going to go into our CRM and I'm going to see that it came from you as the real estate agent. And everything I do is going to be to drive that business back to you. Now, ultimately, if they want to be on the platform and they want the messaging and the branding and everything to come from them, then you can give them that opportunity, obviously. But you can let them know, look, everybody who signs up here at the open house is going to be tagged as your client in our CRM. And my job as a potential lending partner of yours would be to get as many buyers and sellers back to you as humanly possible. And for the ones that aren't going to buy or sell, we're going to be incubating them and providing them value and getting a ton, and we'll be connecting with them every year doing annual financial reviews. They'll see us every month with the Real Estate Wealth Digest. They'll see us every week with the Home Concierge and giving them updates and tips. So that's how you can help them understand it. That answer your question, Robert? I don't know if it did. All right. So we have about 15 minutes left here. Yes, cool. So I want to pivot. Before I do that, any other questions about real estate agents, whether they're on the platform with you now and need to be better at it or understand how to use it more, or reaching out to your current partners who already send you business and are partnering with you, but it would be better suited on this platform? How else can we help you guys with the realtor aspect of it? And guys, what you'll find is there's some organic growth that comes from just having the client part down. So what we've experienced is when we do our consultation, one of the things we say at the end of our consultation, and again, you can go in here and just type in Let's see if it's pre-purchase. You know if this is pre-purchase consultation, Val? There it is. So this is, you guys will be able to see the walkthrough. Here's the slides that we walk people through. And when we get to, this quickly here, I think it's 16 or 17. So here, when we get to this selection, this part of our presentation to a client, so let's assume that Val is my client and she was referred to me by Joe Realtor. So I'm going to go through the consultation with her, and when I get to this point, I'm going to say, Val, one of the things it's going to be really helpful for you is our post-closing management and our commitment to helping you proactively maintain your home, grow your generational wealth, plan for the future, navigate evolutions, and being the most valuable team in your life as it relates to real estate and finance. So I'm going to go through this with her. She's going to be blown away. And then when I get to the end, I'm going to say, I have two favors to ask Val. One is call Joe, the realtor who referred you, and let him know what you thought of the meeting and let him know if you're ready. And our goal is that within minutes after that meeting, Val is on the phone with Joe saying, Joe, that was unbelievable. Thank you so much for referring us to that team. Not only do we feel really confident in our ability to purchase a home and our desire to purchase a home, but they told me how they're going to help me, grow my wealth and help me long-term. And like no other lender has committed that kind of stuff to me. This is amazing. And it's only going to take one time for that to happen, for Joe Realtor to think, I'm never referring to anybody else again, because no one else has given me that feedback. And then Joe's going to be like, hey, what is it you're telling people? Like, they're coming to me pretty excited. And then ultimately, if you're doing it well, Joe's sitting in this consultation with you. All right. So if you're doing it virtually, Joe should be there. He should experience it. He should see the client's wheels turn and their eyes light up. And then it only takes one or two of those times for them to say, okay, like I need to be a part of this. Like, this is different. How can I be a part of committing this long-term to them as well? And then you just show them, yeah, this is how we do it. Right? You can have your own site, you can have your own everything, but I believe you should. Otherwise, you're going to go the same way that every lender is going to go. You're either going to have to be the cheapest and go work for Zillow, or you're going to have to be the most valuable. Right now, unfortunately, you're not, but we can help you with that. John's saying, if I'm not too late, I'd like to reserve one of your 3 real estate partner Zoom slots. So you can't just say you want to do it. I like the energy there, but you actually have to get a realtor to commit, right? So get a realtor to commit to the meeting, and then just CC me on that thing and say, hey, Ryan, I'm going to meet with Samantha about Art of Homeownership. We'd love to have you do that. Oh, John already did it. Okay, cool. So if you already have a realtor that's committed to that meeting, great, we'll get it set up. So nice work, John. I don't think you're too late. I think you're probably the first one, if I had to guess. Mike's saying, could you coach me on the location of that client presentation? Yeah, so guys, we tried to make the e-learning platform as simple as we possibly can. So all you need to do is type in like a keyword. So hopefully you all know that the second meeting you have with a client, right? First one is dreams and goals call. The second one is the pre-purchase consultation. So you just type in pre-purchase, hit search, and then it's the pre-purchase client presentation video walkthrough. So you can watch me actually do the client presentation here, and I walk through it. So I do all that stuff here. And then here's the actual slides, right? So you guys can download this and take it, make it your own, put your name on it, put your information on it. But this should be your kind of your slide deck that you walk people through from a presentation perspective. And this is pre-transaction, right? And then you get into during the transaction. So then you get into our contract meeting, status update sheets, refinance update sheet, gift outline, how we help people maximize wealth through real estate, and then post-closing, which is going to be, oh wait, I think I clicked on that one. There we go. And then post-closing. So post-closing call script, everything we do. So this shouldn't, like, you should just be able to come in here and be exactly who you need to be the most valuable person in your clients' lives by just going through this section. What am I doing pre-transaction? What am I doing during? What am I doing post-transaction? If you do all these things, I promise you, your business will go to places that you never imagined. Your clients will be the beneficiaries of this, and your real estate partners will absolutely want to be a part of it. So Mike, just walk through that, and that should give you everything you need there. Anything else on real estate agents? All right, moving forward. So just to finish off here, in terms of communicating the value to your clients, the first call to closing, the tempo should be, you talk about it the same way that you heard me and Val talk about it on that dreams and goals call, right? The initial phone call, because sometimes the initial phone call is the only phone call, right? Like, keep in mind, they're likely talking to, if they go on Google and Google tells them to talk to 5 lenders and they take Google's advice, well, you could be one of 5 phone calls. So you can't expect that you're going to get the application, that you're going to get them to move forward. And I'm sure everybody on here has challenges with, well, I had a great conversation with them, but then they kind of went dark. Well, they kind of went dark because they probably asked you for a rate, and you probably told them one that's higher than the cheapest rate they could possibly find out there, which is going to happen 99 times out of 100. And, you didn't really show them any differentiation. So you didn't even get a call number 2. That's why call number 1 is so important, that you get good at explaining, hey, do you know what makes us unique and different? Like, do you know why we're one of the top lenders in the country? And, are you aware of why this is beneficial for you? No, I'm not. You're going to get that almost every time, until you start getting your realtors and your financial planners and your past clients. When you start getting them to understand what makes you different, then people are going to come to you for that. The ultimate conversation that you want to shoot for, it sounds like this. Hey, Val, my name is Ryan. I was referred to you by whomever, fill in the blank. And they just said that you and your team are phenomenal at helping people with their real estate and their finances. And they just said that we should talk. That's it, right? Like, they didn't say they want to buy a home. They didn't say they wanted to refinance. They didn't say they wanted to sell. They just said, I heard you're great at helping people with real estate and finances, and that I should call you. And at that point, team, you have an open blank slate. Like, I don't know if she wants to buy or sell a house. Now I'll ask her, oh, hey, Val, are you interested in buying or selling or financing a home at all? Is that something? Because you don't have to be, right? We'll help you really understand it. We'll help you develop a plan and a strategy for whatever it is you're looking for. But is that something you're looking to do right now? I haven't really thought of it, but, I'd be open to it, but I, haven't put much thought into it. We like where we live. We're happy. We're not planning on going anywhere. Great. Well, let's get into your, I'd love to learn more about you. Our process is, we essentially ask you some questions. We do what's called a dreams and goals call. And then once we know that information, I'll be able to present to you all the things that you can or should be looking at, or opportunities that may exist for you. Can you imagine if that was your world as a lender or a real estate agent? You just had people calling you saying, I'd love for you to just take a look at my situation and give me advice. Like, that doesn't happen in our world, but it absolutely should. And that's what we all should be striving for. So until that happens, you're going to get a lot of people that go, I want to buy or I want to refinance. What's your rate? And you need to figure out how to get from there to where ultimately you want to go. Says Ryan, for all new leads, do you make the initial touch base, or does your team and they set up the consult? So yeah, Jared, that is going to be team specific. On my specific team, then, I'm not actually in the conversion aspect or the fulfillment aspect of it anymore. I'm more in leadership and lead generation. But if you are a team leader who is still in conversion, which would be probably most originators, if you have a production partner 1, and again, if you want to get good at this, just go type in team, right? And everything you need from a team, like team building outline, who to hire, what they do, all that stuff is here. So if you're wondering what your team should look like, put it in there. But if you have a production partner 1, ultimately they should be doing the dreams and goals calls. And you should empower them to ask the right questions and get the right information. And then, so if I'm the production partner and Val's my mortgage advisor, I'm going to say, Jared, here's our process. Do you know what makes us unique? Do you know what makes us different? Okay, here's a little bit about us. Let me learn about you. I'm going to do a dreams and goals call. great. Let's schedule a time for you to meet with Val. She's going to go through your consultation. She's going to give you all the information you need. She's going to talk to you about how we help you long-term to be really successful as a homeowner. It's going to be the best meeting you ever had. When's a good day time to do that, right? So Val is just going to have a bunch of consultations on her calendar because, you know, I set them up for her. So good question. Production partner one should be doing the dreams and goals calls, scheduling the consult. If you don't have a production partner one, or they're not trained to do that yet, then you need to do that. And then once you get roughly 5 transactions a month, get your production partner one, have them move on. Okay, so again, first call, that conversation happens in the consultation. I showed you earlier how you want to talk about it in the consultation, right? You show them that slide, you dive into it, you pull up your site, and I'm going to say, okay, Val, so these are all the ways that we're going to help you, right? This is what we're going to give you. And you can even, you know, if you really want to get good at it, you can even pull this stuff up and be like, this is what your concierge is going to look like. Let me see if I'm logged in with the right info here. Yeah, so Val, this is what you're going to get here. Oh, wow, okay, and this is how it works, and this is why it works, and this is how it's going to save you time, money, energy, and we're going to commit to helping you be a successful homeowner here. Okay, great, and then you're going to get a real estate wealth digest, and this is how it looks, right? You're going to be able to pull this up. When you go into contract, we're going to help you move from one home to the next, and this is what that looks like, right? So you want to build that into your overall presentation, which you have here. Sorry, the internet is obviously not great. But when you're walking someone through that in the consultation, make sure they visualize it and see it and understand it, because it's just more powerful that way. Matt is asking a super long question here that might take the rest of the time. Hey, Ryan, working with Val on drip campaigns. While we do a good job explaining AOH platform in the beginning conversation, I imagine we'd have much better implementation, easier engagement after the transaction if we drip the little nuggets of AOH benefits from the first engagement through pre-approval. And throughout the transaction. How do you and your team personally use your CRM to drip information above and beyond the verbal discussions about the process? Great question. So what we found is there's not much that they're going to do during the transaction, and there's so much that they need to do from a just getting the deal done perspective that we don't want to overwhelm them with post-closing. So, you know, in the pre-approval process, we have it built into our drip campaigns, right? So as people are out looking for homes, we talk about how we're going to help them with the during or the pre-process and how we're going to get their offer accepted. And then we drip on some of these things, just not at a super high level because we don't want to overwhelm them. During the transaction, as soon as it goes live, you know, they're going to get the relocation technology. And then, you know, they just have so much on their plate in that 15 to 30 day time window that we don't really necessarily, I mean, the contract meeting, we talk about it, right? So that's why I put it in here. In the consultation and in the contract meeting, hey, Val, congratulations, your offer is accepted. Here's what the next 30 days or 15 to 30 days is going to look like. Here's how it's going to happen. We're going to kick off your Art of Homeownership platform by giving you your relocation technology. Make sure you use that. And then when the transaction closes, we're going to dive into what we're going to do for the next 30 years on our post-closing call. Right. So that's really all we do there. And I don't think that it's challenging, you know, to overwhelm people with a lot of post-closing stuff when they're just trying to get into that home and they have so much going on. So I think dripping too much on them during the transaction isn't as impactful as it is like this post-closing call. I guess that would be a question. You know, are you doing the post-closing call? So I'm asking that question to Matt. Yes. Okay, cool. So yeah, if you're doing that post-closing call, and then the subsequent, you know, emails that, hey, welcome to Art of Homeownership, they get a good amount of information. And then if you do the 3-month follow-up call, or even add that 2-week call, like Shane was saying, hey, did you get it? Or are you using it? Or you signed up? I think that's an extra great touch. So I think all those things would be helpful. And then guys, past clients you haven't spoken to, as we talked about, do a video to your database, call a certain number of people per week. If you don't have a customer success manager on your team, we talked about this, look at getting one or sharing one with other people in your organization, because your customer success manager will do nothing but your 3-month calls, your 6-month calls, your annual financial reviews, and they'll take all that off your plate and they'll help you deliver that commitment. So that's something that your company can provide. That's something that you could potentially do. You just have to figure out how to fit it into your organization. But the key is to make sure that people know, hey, I want to apologize that I didn't do this before, right? You always want to take extreme ownership. So if I'm calling Val and be like, Val, first of all, I want to apologize for, not being a better, more valuable mortgage professional to you in the past. But I'm changing that. I've just invested in a platform called the Art of Homeownership. And my goal is to help you and every single one of my clients become really successful homeowners. And I know I haven't been doing that over the past couple of years. I apologize, but I'm going to make up for it. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm not charging you anything here. I'm not selling you anything, but these are all the ways in which we're going to help you. And I think it's extremely valuable. What questions do you have? And then kind of dive into it from there and make sure they understand it.